Hi guys, it's Max here with dartsreviews.tv in association with dartsplanet.tv. Today we've got some mission darts. We had the John O'Shea darts, the Joker himself. Brightly coloured with those jokery sort of colours in the Irish colours as well, obviously. Yeah, interesting sort of dart. It's obviously got more of a front weight to it, I think. So what we'll do is head over to the table and we'll have a closer look. Okay, we're over at the table now. We've got the John O'Shea darts from Mission, the Joker. We've got those lovely orange, white and green there with the ha-has all over. We got the 22 grams, that are 0.05 grams match weighted. Obviously, over on the back, we got the Joker, John O'Shea, with a little bit from Mission there, what's in the packaging, and obviously the safety instructions and warnings. So, we're going to get the darts out and have a close look. As always with Mission, we got this like velvety plastic insert holding the darts and the flights. Beautiful flights there with the Joker, John O'Shea. We'll get a dart out, have a closer look. Okay, now then, at the front we got a standard matte point, which is really good because it'll grip the board a bit better than the standard silver. And then we've got this contoured sort of nose here. Instead of like a ball nose or a cone nose, it's contoured. It's sort of like a concave section. So hopefully there, when it hits the flight, you get a nice deflection and it doesn't go shooting off into the 1s, the 18s, or even the 12s when you're really unlucky. Then we go into this sort of like matte rainbowy green filled rings here. Obviously this is a torpedo shape, so it's nice and fat at the front and thin at the back, and it's a decent length of grip there, so whether you hold at the front, the back, the middle, you got the same grip. But obviously with a torpedo you got a nice push point, thankfully, because you're pushing against the dart as you're throwing. Standard sort of rings, they're evenly spaced apart. I can feel the grip nicely with my hard fingers, so you can get a decent grip and push the dart. Obviously going up into the back, we've got the Mission etched logo on this rainbowy matte finish, and we have a sabre tweeny or short stem, whichever you'd like to call it. These are quite a nice dart to hold actually. Obviously they're front weighted because they're not parallel, they are torpedo. And we've got the 22 gram. So at the fattest point, these are going to measure in at 7.05 millimeters, and the length is going to be 50.8 millimeters. So it's a decent length. Like I said, the grip goes the whole dart, and with this contoured sort of nose here, hopefully you get some really decent deflections rather than those nasty ones throwing them all over the place. But I'm going to head over to the board, have a throw, because I'm really looking forward to this. Okay guys, we're over at the board. We've got John O'Shea darts here for Mission, 23 gram, and these are nice torpedo shapes. So you've got a nice long push point on there, front weighted obviously, and we've got that sort of like concave nose, so it'd be interesting to see what happens if we get some really tight grouping, if it sort of flies off or it deflects nicely. But I'm going to have a couple of throws just to gauge the dart itself, and then we'll go into the 201 practice routine. Nice steady straight start. Oh, pulled the second. 85, we sort of gauged it back into the treble there. Oh dear, 22, pulling to the right. Might need to adjust my feet slightly, I think. Right, well, I've got to grip with the dart. I might need to adjust my feet slightly, but we'll go into our 201 practice routine, see how many darts it takes. Game on. Oh, a nice steady 60 to start. That's very tight and close. 141 left to get. .96 scored. Nice little switch up there. 45 left to get. There we go, 3 darts, 9 darts, I'm happy with that. Okay, 9 darts, not the greatest throw, but I got to grips with them. I got some nice sort of like around exactly where I was aiming, just slight little drift. But yeah, the grip feels nice in the finger and thumb, even with my hard fingers. But yeah, I could see this suiting quite a few people. It's a nice steady dart to throw. But what we'll do, we'll go and have a review on these. Okay, we had a throw. I didn't do the greatest. Started off with a steady 60, pulled it back with a 96. Obviously, a little bit wider than I'm used to. But the grip itself, fairly happy with. Obviously, a front weighted dart slightly. You got like the taper that goes from the back to the wider section at the front. We had the 22 gram dart, so it's the lighter ones of the series. They come in 22, 24 and 26 grams, so a varied weight. Obviously the heavier weight is going to suit more of a lob sort of player, which is really good for a front weighted dart. The grip goes the whole way, so that's really good. It doesn't matter if you're a rear, front or sort of like mid thrower. Obviously you will get a slightly different flight depending on how you're holding it. These are the 95% tungsten darts. They come in at 54 and 95 pence, which I think is a really good price. The 95% tungsten. You paying that for 90% tungsten nowadays. So I think that's a really, really good price. The grip rating, for myself, I'll give it a 2.5, right in the middle. And like I said, it doesn't matter where you hold it, it's going to be the same grip. Some people, obviously with softer fingers, might find it a little bit grippier. But again, it's all personal, really. And speaking of that, as it is personal, if you want, head down into the comment section and leave us a little review or a comment if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, because I do try and get back to you all once I see your messages. You can also head over to dartsreviews.tv, leave a review on there. It helps loads of people out, especially new darts players that's like trying to think of what to go for. So your comments and reviews can help them out as well. And you can also tick subscribe and tick those notifications, because there's loads of reviews coming up in the future, and I'd really like to see you come back in the future as well. Bye.